Viewers, a Congress Member of Parliament, Manikam Tagore, has moved an adjournment motion notice on water leaks inside the new Parliament building. This is the video in question shared by Manikam Tagore. And remember, this is happening at a time when there is rain across northern India. All of last night in the national capital and the surrounding areas it rained, and over in Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the two hill states bordering Delhi as well, there was quite a lot of rainfall. A lot of people are missing. We've got this video, and you can see there is a bucket which is placed in a central area of the new Parliament building, and there is a steady flow of water trickling in. You can see it right there. And Manikam Tagore of the Congress Party feels that this is an issue over which he needs to have a parliamentary adjournment, and over which all the MPs, or a good number of them, need to come together. Now, joining him in his demand and adding a little bit more to it is the Samajwadi Party chief, Akhilesh Yadav, who of course is this time a member of Parliament. He won his election handsomely, and he has been gracing the Lok Sabha as well. And he says the old Parliament was better than this new Parliament, where even the old MPs could come and meet. Why not go back to the old Parliament, at least till the time water dripping program is going on in Parliament, built with billions of dollars. People are asking whether water dripping from every new roof constructed under the BJP government is part of their well thought out design, and he leaves that hanging over there. So as you can see, there is a fair amount, and it doesn't take very much for the opposition to begin to criticize the new Parliament building. It's a feature of what we've seen so far. And Pragya joins us now. Pragya, two questions. One is, how big is this issue of the Parliament water leak? It is the first session, or rather the first monsoon that this Parliament is witnessing. And the second is, what exactly does Manikam Tagore want over this?
Well, there has been a lot of politics regarding this new building. In fact, if you remember, many of the opposition parties even did not participate in the inauguration and Bhumi Pujan of this particular new building. Many of them have been opposing it, and many of the MPs, in fact, and political parties have expressed displeasure over it. But, given the fact that there is monsoon and there is some kind of leakage of water from some roof, that is a roof where that attaches the terrace with the whole lobby where the MPs sit. So this is a video from there, and Manikam Tagore has shot this video particularly from that angle, and there was dripping of water. This happens, and maintenance will be looking into it about this particular leakage. But the fact that the opposition parties are now saying that this building has been made from billions of money, a significant amount of money, and then there is leakage. They are also criticizing the government, and they're taking on the government on particular construction of this particular new building. They have been advocates of the old building, and that is particularly the reason why Mr. Akhilesh Yadav said that until you fix this problem, we'll shift to the new building. While this kind of politics began ever since the new building has started being constructed, and they are in fact they were opposing when Prime Minister Narendra Modi in fact inaugurated that building. And not just that, there was a sing-on ceremony that was also opposed by the political party. So I would say that this particular controversy has everything to do with scoring the political brownie points over the government, and this is exactly what the opposition MPs are doing. But also they could have just flagged this up with the speaker, with the maintenance department, or with the government, saying that this is unacceptable, that any sort of leakage happens in this kind of building. But they did not do that. They put out the video, and what government was saying that this is the roots of this kind of thought process in the opposition begins ever since the building of the new Parliament building was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Well, Pragya, let's look at a couple of facts. One is that this is a building that has been constructed in record time by one of the top engineering and construction conglomerates in India. L&T was behind the building of this. It's a company that in many ways has built a lot of countries abroad, also a lot of big cities abroad, particularly in the Middle East. They have a lot of operations there. And it's a company that a lot of us perhaps feel that we should be proud of for having built this building. The second is, how big of a trickle is that? There are big issues right now. There is the landslide in Wayanad. We also know that the Home Minister is going to be moving a amendment to the Disaster Management Act. So there are big issues to discuss. And yet they feel that this bucket, which is not full of water quite yet, is sufficient to raise also in Parliament on a day like today? Is there a sense that this is the priority and maybe that is a misplaced priority, or is this a feeling among the netas that this is the biggest issue right now?
Well, I would say there are two ways to look at it. First, that the MPs in the opposition are saying that this is highly unacceptable, even this sort of leakage in a building like this. But it is a huge building. There are some chunks that needs maintenance. There must be some kind of maintenance work that needs to be done. And this is, round the clock maintenance of such a big building. So if you look at that, it's not that big a point. But to have leakage, they are also making a statement that you made this huge building with lots of money, and yet there is a leakage in it. Secondly, you are absolutely right that there are more bigger issues. There is Wayanad issue. There is, drowning of students. And we saw how heavy the rainfall yesterday was, and most of the roads, even in NDMC areas, were clogged. So, there is Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, they're all under really monsoon right now. So there are major big issues that they need to be discussing right now rather than, focusing on that and politicizing on that. Government and many would say that they should have taken the issue of Wayanad. Rahul Gandhi must have gone to Wayanad yesterday. They have taken stock of the situation. They have put state government, accountable for such a,
Pragya, if you just hold on to that thought, Pragya, we have Fakhrul Hasan Chand joining us. Now, Mr. Fakhrul, Akhilesh Yadav says the old Sansad was better. But is it really that you see a couple of trickles of water falling down, suddenly you deem the new building not good enough, you want to move back to old parliament? Like, is that really what we want to do?
देखिए, आदरणीय अखिलेश यादव जी ने जिस बात को उठाया है अपने एक्स पे पोस्ट के माध्यम से कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने बड़े बड़े दावे किए थे नई संसद के बारे में, लेकिन जब आज पहली बारिश हुई है और वो उसकी छत टपक रही है, तो ये कहीं ना कहीं भ्रष्टाचार को भी दिखाता है। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार में जिस तरीके से नई नई परंपराएं शुरू की जाती है, लेकिन जिस तरीके से नई इमारत को बनाया गया, नई इमारत
फखरुल हसन जी हमारे साथ बने रहिए प्लीज। आई एम टोल्ड वी आर स्पीकिंग राइट नाउ टू मनिकम टैगोर हु हैज मूव्ड दिस एडजर्नमेंट मोशन और हु वांट्स टू मूव इट। लेट्स गो अक्रॉस टू दैट।
This leakage happened, which is very painful for us. In a 90-year-old building, when that happened, same thing happened. There was some kind of actions. Therefore, I had moved an adjournment motion today because this is a very serious issue. Therefore, I had moved an adjournment motion. Hope the Honorable Speaker accepts it and we have a discussion, find solutions to it.
Sir, you have also mentioned that a specialized committee needs to be formed in which the MPs from various political parties should be a part of it. Do you think that this demand will be accepted on the part of the government as well, sir?
In 2010, the similar situation was there. There was a leakage in the parliament. Therefore, in that time, the present MP from Uttar Pradesh, Mr. Jagdikam Pal, was the Congress MP in that time. He raised that issue, and in that time, Speaker Meera Kumar appointed a committee with Home Minister Mr. Chidambaram, and the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Mr. Pavan Bansal, and the leader. These are happened earlier also. Parliament is not one party property. It is every member's party or every all party this thing. When they were designing also, when they were deciding about the design founding of foundation laying ceremony or the opening ceremony, every time they get unilateral decisions. And there is some friend of Mr. Modi architect who they brought from his place, and he was given this model to create it. Now it's not anybody's house. It is the house of the people. It is Parliament. It is not Mr. Modi's house, which he can build with his own architecture, whatever. Leader of opposition or other leaders has to be consulted. They are not done it. Hope they repair it with this kind of leakages when this is coming, and we take it seriously, because I thank the Samajwadi floor leader and the ex-Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Akhilesh Yadav ji, to standing with these things and questioning the right thing, because we have to be careful. We can call it as Mandir of democracy, but in Mandir of democracy there is a leakage. How we are going to react to it? That needs to be a careful reaction, careful action also.
Sir, like you have mentioned, Akhilesh Yadav has also made a tweet in this regard, and he has also taken a jibe at the central government saying that the manner in which the water leakage is there in various infrastructure projects of the BJP government. Is it a part of their own strategy? How do you want to react on it, sir?
Leakage, buildings are built by BJP and Mr. Modi and Amit Shah. Leakages are happening there. We have not built any building, and we are not that buildings. There is no leakages under this. Therefore, this is a airport, mandir, now parliament, wherever you take it, and you take any building which they have built it's all have some kind of problems with it. Therefore, only Samajwadi floor leader and former chief minister of Uttar Pradesh Akhilesh Yadav mentioned it. That's a correct thing, because that's a truth. That's a truth that media only reports these kind of things. If every airport canopy falls, this building falls, that building falls, there is a leakage. Therefore, we are taking up that issues only, and he's correct, 100% is correct on that issue.
Sir, on Wayanad now today, the LOP Rahul Gandhi and General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is visiting Wayanad. But on the other side, politics is also erupting. Tejasvi Surya has reacted, and he said that the government is not being able to relocate those people who have been trapped there because of some pressure from the religious organizations, and why Rahul Gandhi didn't mention about Wayanad in so many days, in the past so many days in Assembly or even in Parliament. How do you like to react on it, sir?
South Bangalore MP Tejasvi Surya eats hate, breathes hate, and speaks hate. Therefore, he spreads hate. He wants to divide everything on religious, language, and other beliefs and others. Therefore, we don't accept that kind of views. This is a time of pain for us. Wayanad is undergoing, whole India is with Wayanad now. Everybody is supporting Wayanad people and those families who lost their loved ones, and it is the government that has to coordinate their efforts. Instead of this petty politics of BJP must stop, and these kind of reactions by BJP MP Mr. Tejasvi Surya shows their culture, the way they have been brought up by RSS.
Sir, the Union Home Minister has said that early warning was being given to the state government, no action was being taken. But now it is Rajiv Chandrasekhar who has blamed the Congress party, saying that when the UPA government was there, when Jairam Ramesh was the environment minister, at that point of time an expert committee had also mentioned it clearly that there is a threat upon Wayanad and the Western Ghats, but no action was being taken, and it is the responsibility of the Congress party to give a reply that why no action was being taken back then.
That is a conversation that is ongoing. We'll show you more of that, but coming back to the leak in the new parliament, I just want to say that that bucket and that trickle of water is among the smallest trickles of water we have seen across the country covering the monsoon fury. But clearly, netas think that maybe their problems are bigger than other people's problems. We have this letter here. I'd like to read what it is that he wants. And Manikam Tagore in this letter is asking that a panel of MPs be formed, it evaluate the cause of the leak, and then also evaluate the design and if there is any fault there. And he's doing it because this bucket is not quite full of water, but there is a trickle of water falling from the roof. And he's tried very hard speaking to us, and I credit him for that, for making an argument as to why this is the most pressing concern at the moment. But one really needs to see whether or not it in fact is. It'll be interesting to see whether or not the speaker takes this up. We'll be tracking the story very closely, whether or not it smacks of elitism or whether it is legitimate or something else. Stay with us. We're coming back after a short break.